which took us to, that link between reading and writing. Is that making sense to you? You're a very quiet group. You're allowed to disagree. You're allowed to be controversial. Okay. Was there anything else that you talked about that you do as a reader?
I think with professional reading, what I tend to do is go to the last page, the conclusion, and then go back to the beginning. And so you kind of got the context of what it's all about, and then improve on the details. And you can skim.
Yes, that helps you to skim.
Yeah. Whereas when you're reading for leisure, that's part of the enjoyment of that, not knowing what's coming next to it.
Or I have been known to, I can't stand it and I have to turn to the last page. And yet some people would, Joe, would you ever do that? No, there's some people who would never do it, but I would. But I think perhaps, Jill, what you're talking to us about is, if it's professional reading, you actually use the text structure because you knew, I know what the topic is, I'll read the opening paragraph, I'll read the end conclusion, I'll go back and fill the bits in, but I can skim with filling the bits in the middle. So what you actually are doing is using text structure to help you read and comprehend. Yeah. Jo was also talking about how she has to read to the end of the chapter, and both leisure reading and professional reading, and why that would be is because there's actual chunks in the reading, and if you're relating to the meaning and you want to pick the thread up next time you come to read, you have to actually get to that end bit saying, okay, now I know where I've left off and I'm going to build on the next reading. That's a skill in itself. Do you think our students can do that? No? Yeah, that's our teaching.
Just as an interesting point, we were discussing how, I don't mind it if somebody reads to me for leisure, like
yes.
I listen to a story and that's fine, I still don't mind that. But I can't stand it if someone reads to me from a professional reading. I have to read it myself. I can't, you know how some people get up there and they'll read the whole thing out for you?
Yes, can't stand it.
I have to see it and read it myself to be able to absorb it. Yeah. And yet it's different from listening to someone read a story or a poem to you. Or it's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah,
Lisa. The pace of how you read when you're reading professionally, I think that changes because of all the things that you are thinking and connecting and building on. So I think that impacts.
Yeah, it does. Do you think some of the differences we've talked about this morning between reading professionally and reading for leisure, do you think that some of those differences relate to in the classroom reading non-fiction and fiction? Yeah, the parallels. Remembering what it's like for us and the differences for us can translate into what we think about in terms of our practice when we're asking students to read non-fiction texts. Yeah. And I think, what did you say, Lynn? You just said something that was, we have to teach them. Lynn said we have to teach these things. And really when you look at all this, this is the teaching, right? This is the teaching for reading. This is what our content is. Head around and understand each part of it, and then what it would look like in our teaching situations, and then how we would individualise that for each student or each group at a time. Make sense? Okay. What we're going to do is okay. What we're going to do with the NAPLAN data is, in particular, I know this isn't very big, but do people have the one that looks like that?
Does it also come in? Yeah.
Yes, yes, doesn't matter if it's, can I grab yours? It can either be presented portrait or landscape, same information. 3 or 5, it doesn't matter. Okay, thank you. Right, what we're going to do, it does not matter if you have the 3 or the 5. That's okay. I'll get you some once we get going.
not today.
Okay, class. Could I have everyone looking up here for a moment instead of rattling our papers? It will become clear in a moment, and if you're stuck and you don't have the data you need, I've got some spare that I'll give to you. What we're going to do now for the next 10 minutes or so is I'm going to give you a chart that looks like this, and the first box says make inference, ...